We joined EXP in 2019, and it was the best decision that we made that year. If you have questions on what it's like to be at this brokerage, reach out to us. Happy to chat. Let's get to the content. Welcome to the Solution of Real Estate podcast, where myself, Phil Sexton, and
Jeff Sibbach
come together on a weekly basis to talk about how real estate can do a better job of putting the consumer first.
And because of the amount of lawsuits that we've been seeing in that, we're going through a section of path here where we're really focused on
The industry.
Yes.
And what changes we see coming down the pipeline and the crystal ball, as well as what we're living today.
Yes.
And so today's topic, which is how can internet companies claim to be transparent when their fees are hidden from the consumer, is our topic. How can they claim to be transparent? And I think that kind of something that kind of started this or early in this in our process is the latest commercial that I sent you from Homelight that said free. Find the top agents in your area for free.
Right. Now, so is that going to have to go away because they're not a realtor?
I think it's just marketing. I love marketing for this reason. Is what they said is you can find the agents for free. But as soon as you click on it to be connected to that agent, then that's when a fee comes into play?
No, the fee happens when they buy the house, not when you look at the house.
Or not when they look at the list of agents on the website. Fair. I don't know what the logic is. But
well, I would argue that it's not consumer friendly because it's misleading.
Right.
But who governs regular companies about being misleading? If they're not a brokerage, then they don't get governed by the real estate industry.
The Department of Real Estate in each different state has to take them on. I wonder if anybody turned them in, right? Is the public complaining like they're being duped by that commercial when they find out that you have to pay Homelight 35%?
No, because they forget by the time that they got it, right? Like it's too long between when the free was talked about until they actually pay that they forgot where they saw it. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
Like that, they benefit from being
the length of time that home searches have to take.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's either search or
because if it was let's say that it's our digs and we're in the future and they go to that listing and they buy it, they're now gonna be paying a commission, which is gonna be visible because of the DOJ lawsuit that said it has to be visible. I think then they're gonna be troubled with that because you said it was free. I thought it was free, and now I'm paying this fee because right now there's no fee that the buyer pays. There's no perceived fee that the buyer pays.
Oh, because it comes out of the seller proceeds.
Right. So it's still, that's why I'm like, there's no point a buyer has to put up cash separate from the sale, which they're buying a sale anyway, because the sale price is a sale price to the buyer. There's not an additional fee, therefore that's sort of like it is free because they don't pay anything. That fee, the problem is that fee pays for the house is what their argument is, but there's a built-in fee inside there.
Yeah.
And that's what our talk is about today.
Transparency and payment. It's interesting to me though that you're going to have the DOJ NAR settlement then requires whenever a listing is advertised in IDX, for example, or with vows, which I know you're going to talk about today, is that then the co-broke commission that's offered to the agent that brings in the buyer is disclosed. So if the co-broke being offered is 2%, 3%,
on every
4%,
listing,
that's what it sounds like.
I just can't believe that's going to be
dude,
launched in 30 days.
Come on, we're gonna the way what we're being told is going to happen. And what is going to happen will be interesting to see how that lines up.
Well, what I want to know is, and I don't want to get.
There's a lot of websites that have to update.
Well, I don't.
There's a lot of websites.
Well, my question is, are the vow agreements with MLS, which feeds Zillow, which feeds Realtor.com, Homelight, like the vow websites that are not, well, actually Zillow's now a brokerage.
Well, yeah, but Zillow's, I thought Zillow was on the IDX, but I get what you're saying.
But the vow websites, do they have the
virtual office website, right?
Are their rules different? because they're receiving data from the MLS. Do they have to disclose?
Oh, yes. So my understanding is the VAL rules are different than IDX because on for the VAL rules, that is where it's not public. You have to log in to your account in order to see the information. That's my understanding of VALs.
So I go to redfin.com.
And if you log into Redfin with your account, meaning you established a relationship with them, they can then disclose more information based on the VAL rules than IDX, which is just public information that's not behind a wall.
Wow. Okay.
But I think what's interesting is that now with IDX information, with like the co-broke being listed on there, it's okay. Amazing to me.
It sounds like we got a topic for next week. Oh, but let's talk about the topic for this week.
Yes, transparency.
So, I know, but the question that I believe we asked is how can internet companies claim to be transparent when their fees are hidden?
Yes,
from the consumer.
You got a one-line answer. I know you do.
Well, no. I mean, to me, the thing is that the reason how they can claim to be transparent is because it's actually the brokers that have rules that they've learned to take advantage of the system. So actually it was kind of like a trick question, because the question is are brokers transparent first? Because the reason why they cannot be transparent, but the reality is because they're the most transparent in the industry. Because I think that Zillow is more transparent than brokers.
Yeah, they led the way. Like, let's just go back to the Zestimate. That was pretty transparent. Brokers didn't start doing that.
Right.
Brokers
they still don't do it.
You have to call me. You have to call me to come over to your house.
Right. So the reason they can claim to be transparent is because they're the best on the street.
Oh, but then, okay. So then Redfin becomes a broker. So now some of the brokers are transparent.
Right. Redfin's transparent. Realtor.com is transparent because they're more transparent.
But not a broker. Realtor.com, not a broker.
Right. What's another one? Quicken.
Rocket Homes.
Rocket Homes. But broker. Rocket Homes is a broker.
Right.
But the thing is so Zillow just became one of them. But see, what happened was Zillow earned the consumer's trust first.
Yes.
Then went into the rule set, which protected them to not have to be more transparent than the broker, because that's how they have. I mean, clearly smartest people in the room, they're invited to the table, right? Because they are more transparent than the rules that they fall under. So we're good, because what you alluded to last week in our conversation was, is it transparent if we don't disclose that someone's getting a referral fee?
I would say
that's today's discussion.
It is not transparent if you don't disclose.
True. Yeah. I mean, it's why. Thank you for coming along, Eric. Good to see you. So let's ask Eric. Eric, would you say, is it transparent to the consumer? Have you ever done a deal where you paid a referral fee
to another agent or another broker? And I'm going to prompt you. I'll wait till I see the unmute button get checked before I ask you another question. And so how about now? Have you ever paid a referral fee to another agent or another broker?
No, I haven't. I've received referral fees from another agent before.
Interesting. Okay, so when you received a referral fee, so you referred a client that was maybe moving out of town, or a friend that was selling their house in another city, or how did?
Yeah, it was. I helped them buy a house in Buckeye with 6.5 acres and a separate workshop, and I had a couple of cattle. But they had a home to sell. They bought that on a VA loan, and they had a home to sell up in Divide, Colorado. So I found them a HomeSmart agent out of the Woodland Park office, and they got set up with her, and she got the listing because I gave I gave her and my client's information with the referral agreement. So I got 25% of that, of 660 something thousand.
Awesome.
So
So
it
I
was
just
like a
think
year
that
after. It's like
this is a
was
funny
like year
question that I have for
after the-
realtors.
Hold on, he's not done. You should let him finish talking.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Do you remember the client's name?
Yeah, her name's Donna.
Okay. You ever notice when you talk to realtors that they can tell you everything about a transaction, except sometimes you didn't there, Eric, right? But like, oh, what was that person's name? And they're like, God, 6.5 acres with the workshop in Buckeye. We referred them to Colorado. Oh, I can't. Like the realtors are so into transactions. I just think that's a funny nuance. Sorry to cut you off, Eric. You remember their name. Much good on you. Good on you. So then the question I think that Jeff is asking is, did you tell them that you were getting a 25% referral fee when you referred them to the agent in Colorado?
Oh, my client,
Yeah.
my buyers, you mean?
Yeah.
You know what? I don't think so. I don't think I actually did say that.
Exactly what, but the thing but this is the ghost in the closet.
Well,
Yeah, right.
no, I'm sorry. I mean, later on, she did know that because I did tell her later in the process.
But did you say I'm getting a little fee, or did you say I'm getting 25% of the 18,000, so I'm receiving $6,000?
No, because you don't want to sound like you're just trying to help them just to get your commission, your referral fee.
Oh, boy. So
true.
Transparent or not transparent?
Not transparent. Sorry. We love you. We do the same thing. Guilty.
Yes.
I'm just saying that if we're trying to be transparent, we have to look at ourselves first, because now these other companies are also brokerages. So let's not pick on all of them. Let's see.
Yeah.
To me, this is putting the consumer first.
We don't, and Jeff, I don't think anybody that watches our program thinks that we only pick on one person here.
Okay.
We pick on the industry here.
Yes.
Yeah, nice. So do you think that will change?
But Eric is completely right, because but it's also why I think it will be less if the consumer knows, because we don't want them thinking that we're chasing a check. You know what I mean? That's what he said. Huh?
Well, you want to make sure that you're getting, I mean, that client or your buyers, wherever, if they bought something here and they have something to sell out of state in a different state, you want to get them the best service you can, of course. And that's what really matters. If they don't use that agent, then, then that's up to them. I mean, I'm not trying to pigeonhole them into one agent.
Oh no, we know that. We know that. We think you're great.
So I want to pick on a different industry for a second.
Okay.
Because we were on a phone call, as you guys know here, that Jeff, Phil, we've been working on rolling out our digs, right? We've been talking about
the National Association of Team Leopards, which is the people, and then our digs, which is the platform, the integrated platform. Yes.
Right. And so when we're on a phone call today with an SEC attorney, right? So we've been talking to different attorneys in how we are getting this to making sure that we're setting everything up when we got all of our T's crossed and our I's dotted. And when we're talking to an attorney, sometimes attorneys, you're outside of what they want to take. And so they are very interested in referring you to an attorney that they know.
Because it's a referring attorney fees.
I don't know.
I know what it is. No, I haven't. Right. So the attorney I know out of Chicago gets 33% to 30 to 35% if they refer to somebody else that they know. It's called, he actually hosts a referring attorney's dinner. There's a guy that he's friends with that I met, actually, because his son went to Penn State and we bonded. Super nice guy, just great guy. He's an attorney, but doesn't practice law. He is just in a referral. He's the
lead generator.
Yes.
He just generates leads and sends them out to people that actually practice law, but he has his law degree. So that means he can collect fees.
Because my attorney friend got a check that was almost 8 figures, almost 10 million. And he got the referral on it. So he got, right?
A third. Because he referred the deal over, and then the consumer got referred. It's not like those attorneys had to say, hey, I'm going to send you this one, and here's why.
Well, here's why, though, is because
not transparent. Another industry that's not transparent, because we get picked on a lot for not being transparent, but it's not just us.
Okay, hold on, though. But that they don't get charged every time. They only pay the fee if you win in an attorney.
So if they collect money from a client to do work, then the fee is maybe the fee is owed, maybe
he's a
not.
PI attorney.
Yeah. Oh, got it.
Like,
Different. I just mean like the guy that we talked to today. My guess is when he was trying to refer us to another one of his cohorts, he was going to get a perk for that.
Of course.
It was undisclosed.
Of course.
Right.
Yeah, no, fair.
And I think that it's interesting on how transparency has been something that business has been talking about for a decade or two. But yet you still have a lot of these industries that aren't transparent.
Okay, but hold on. But also that in that industry, you retain services from someone specifically for you. You're not paying the other side's fees, and then there's fees.
I get it. I just mean on a referral fee, he didn't pay the other side's fee on that referral fee. I'm just saying we're talking about referral fees to referral fees.
No, but I'm talking about that you can get a referral fee on the buy side that the seller's paying for, that they're paying for me to get a referral fee.
Oh, dude, you just went Inception on me.
What?
You were layers deep right there. You with me, Adam? He says, yeah, hi. What's on your phone? You're freaking listening. Oh, yeah.
Do you think that
You just went Inception, which I think is great.
What is Inception?
Inception is that movie where they get into a dream, and then they get into in the dream, they get into a dream, and then in the dream, they get into a dream. And so it's getting layers deep. And I don't know, forgive me. Eric, did you ever see Inception?
No.
Well, shoot.
No.
Maybe I'm all alone.
I don't have free time that I use to watch movies.
What you do with your life is on your time. So the reason why I got to Inception is because you're saying that if he refers a buyer to that agent, then the selling agent ends up paying Eric 3 levels deep. 1, 2, 3. And it's not disclosed. And that's not transparent.
Well, do you think that a seller
Wow.
do you think that a seller wants to pay a referral fee to make sure that he got paid? Because like that's why if the people with the lawsuit called me, that they would have more chicken on the bone. Right? Like the problem that we're in trouble is when this starts getting uncovered, there's going to be a lot more lawsuits because that's pretty bad.
I know, and I'm just taking it inside or even outside of our industry as a whole. Like
we have someone, there's 2 referral fees given on our deals.
Sometimes more.
3, yes.
If you got to pay your broker, you got to pay your team, you got to pay the referring agent, you got to pay another referring agent.
Well,
there's a lot of people.
Okay, so my whole
hands in the
idea
pots.
with this argument is just the idea that 3% is upholding, and why it's good. It has withstood the time is that the majority of the 1.4 million agents are banking on those fees to come back to them as part of their income, and that is going to cause a shitstorm when that comes out.
Got it. Yeah.
Because
Do you think then, like, as Zillow leveraged being more transparent to the consumer to grow by having a Zestimate, that there's going to be a company that is going to leverage being more transparent to the consumer to grow because they share fees like this? Fee structures like this?
That's really deep. I you got to slow it down and repeat it because I didn't know what you were trying to really ask.
I just wonder if there's always where's the opportunity today?
I think the opportunity is with our digs is that without this style of referring, that we can reduce the amount of cost to the seller, because the seller's brunting all of these extra hidden fees in the industry that are not really paid to sell their house.
Okay.
Right. So to me, the question is what is the commission meant for? What is the commission paid for? What is Adam, you're a listings manager. I'd hate to just call you off the street here, but you're a listings manager. And when they sign a contract, what does it say that commission goes towards? Can you go get the language so we can read it?
Yeah. An ER agreement?
Yeah, go get an ER agreement. I want to see what the language says that.
There's a lot.
Agreed.
There's a lot.
7 pages of it. Yeah.
No, but the point is what does the seller think they're paying for?
Representation.
Marketing and representation.
Marketing and representation. Is that what's actually happening?
Yes.
Of course, we're realtors. We believe in our system. Absolutely. Yes.
Right. And so then it's up because then it's even up to every individual agent to figure out what they value their services at when they're talking to the client.
Whew, okay. I don't think that I think if the public knew, we're talking about transparency in today's
Yeah,
conversation.
yeah.
I think that if the public knew how many things that are being paid for out of I don't know that our opinion of value would go up or down, but I don't think it would be
Interesting.
up.
All right, let's
All right.
take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back because we're continuing this conversation.
Yes,
I know you got
absolutely.
more.
Of course.
All right, be right back. Do we want to get the ER while we're on commercial
Yeah,
break?
go get the ER.
Go
Yep.
get the ER.
Go get
We're
the
going
ER.
to take an extended commercial break, guys.
Yeah.
While he goes to get the ER. He's looking on the desk. He's opening the door. He's going to pull it up on the computer. Is it transaction desk or is it in zip forms? Wait, don't we have Drive? Just pull up the Drive. We got ERs in Drive.
So I'm gonna.
It's a race.
It's a
Yeah.
race.
Who can use technology to find an ER faster?
Well, but I mean, if we're gonna talk, let's just
Yeah, let's pull it up.
pull it up. I don't know that. So shared drive, Google, the Googs, Gmail. It's gonna ask me for verification again.
Every
Every
time.
time it does. I now have the password because I logged in yesterday and it asked me for it. Jeez. Okay, on the drive, where is it?
I just searched
'Cause
ER.
has the listing agreement changed in the last 10 years?
Oh, probably.
Okay.
But you
alright.
know it's changing again
When?
this year.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Is your dad?
AAR. No, AAR wrote their own.
They wrote, because now it's going to Realtor.
Now it's going to be statewide. They're trying to have ER consistency statewide. And I think they have 8 of 10 MLSs signed up for it. And I think Armless is going over to it.
Well, because the funny thing why we brought this up is the lawsuit says that they want to move the commission from the broker.
All right, Adam. Good job. Come on back, Jeff.
Dang it.
We're back.
Awesome.
We're
All right.
almost back.
Okay. So
We are back from our commercial break. Thank you guys for hanging with us. Here we go, Jeff. So
Okay.
during the commercial, you got an exclusive.
compensation
What is it? An exclusive
of right to sell
Right
in
to
the
sell?
state of Arizona.
written by the Arizona Association of Realtors,
Written by-
copyrighted for realtors use only.
Is it okay for me to talk on the podcast about this?
Section of the form? I assume so.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. All right. So I'm gonna go to section 6 is the section that it says compensation to broker and cooperating brokers.
Okay.
Okay. Right there, right? It does not tell me that.
Broker and cooperating brokers. All right. What does it say?
Well, because the argument is, well,
So
I
that's
guess.
lots of people right out of the bat, because I don't know how many people can you have cooperating.
Okay. Compensation to broker and cooperating brokers. Oh, I guess because it's real simple. It doesn't say there's, let's see, there's 5,600 in Arizona times 50. So it could be any of 3 million. Anyway.
Realtors.
Realtors, yeah.
Well, I think it's
Owner
an
agrees to
Arizona
compensate
form.
broker for
Arizona.
as follows. The retainer, we're going to skip that one because that's a different, I just want to
Okay.
save some time. If broker produces a ready, William, an able purchaser or tenant in accordance with this listing contract, executed lease agreement, option or exchange of premises is made by owner or through any broker or otherwise during exclusive term of this contract, owner agrees to pay broker total commission for sale, X commission of the purchase price, a commission of substantially similar allocable amount if the transaction is structured other than a purchase lease. Cooperating broker, then, the disclosure right there, with regard to this listing contract, broker intends to cooperate with all brokers except when not in owner's best interests.
That's interesting. Cooperates with all brokers except when not in owner's best interest. When would that be?
When the buyer's agent's getting a fee that is undisclosed.
No, I'm just curious
Oh.
what that would be. Like what that was obviously included in there because they needed that included in there. I just wonder
Maybe the buyer
what that
agent's
out,
representing a family member
not
and
in
they
the
have-
best
they have insider
interest.
information. Maybe the buyer agent found out how much the offer is on the table and they wouldn't want to work with them.
I don't know.
Hmm.
And to offer compensation in an amount of 2.5 of the gross purchase price to a buyer broker who represents the interest of the buyer and not the interest of the owner. Any such cooperation shall not increase the total commission paid. Done.
Finding a buyer.
Right. So the thing is it's then passed off, and how it works in our system is that you're given that fee. Whatever you do with your money when you get it is your own thing. Like when the buyer agent gets the fee, whatever, like it's paid to them. It's a separate agreement then that sends that money out to other places. So, but to me, in the transparency of it, your point is, and the point of today's conversation is just really how much of that in comparison to other industries is actually disclosed.
True. And I think that the answer to the title today of how can the internet companies claim to be transparent is
Because
because
they're a broker.
I think because all you need to do is share one extra piece of information than everybody else. And now you're the guy that's transparent.
Correct. And they're
And
clearly
that's it.
sharing one more where like I think that they're sharing comps and given an estimated price is clearly more transparent than
Right.
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 They're
Or like when those sites started putting the sales history, right? Pricing history online. Now they became more transparent.
Oh, the pricing history.
Now they're more transparent.
That is more transparent. I would agree that's more transparent. I was thinking transparency in a whole nother light though. I was thinking they don't they're not putting the listing, like to me the backside of this is, wouldn't it be more transparent? Like we have a rule from the Arizona State Department that says that if we market our house, we must put our brokerage prominent. If you remember in 2007, I
Oh.
got fined.
Not because you were marketing the house, but because you were marketing your services.
But I also market houses. If I was marketing my services,
Yeah, but you don't need to limit that. Is my point.
oh, right.
When you market,
I have to put my broker prominent, and they even were upset
Yeah.
because I was slightly to the right
I had
and
the
not
conversation.
not in the center.
I had the conversation with ADRE that day because I was on a panel about an advertising panel or something like that. And when somebody looked at our website, they were like, "Oh, your broker name isn't prominent enough," and they turned us in. And then we had to respond to that. And the solution that ADRE gave us was, because that logo was left aligned, if we moved it over, if we spaced it over about 100 or 200 pixels, then we were good, was the solution that they came up with. We're like, okay. Done, good, clean.
Right, but yet when I go see my listings on other sites, it's not the broker who's actually listing the house. That's why I was commenting on the VOW listing.
It's not
Is
the
that-
broker that's listing the house? That's true, because if that's a broker website that you see that on, that broker has to be prominent, right? Like us, we have IDX on our website.
But
And that website has to have the prominent eXp Realty broker name on it. Otherwise, we're out of compliance.
yeah, no. So the question is in today's world, is it transparent to the consumer with the current agreements out there? All brokers, meaning Keller Williams, EXP, us, the Sibbach team, are we being transparent when we offer listings that are other people's listings and claiming them as ours?
Good question.
Eric, what do you think? Eric,
Clinton-
let the studio audience talk. Eric, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I have Real Geeks website, and every listing that's on there, if you go into the details, it'll say listing is by that's whoever the broker.
How many scrolls down until you have to get to where it's at?
It's just at the very bottom.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's my argument is that I got a warning from the real estate department saying I was not clear and prominent.
In marketing.
Yet we're not over here. If you're in this category, you cannot be clear and prominent. And like, how Like, how can that exist in our system?
Because you're combining two different things. Because it's our choice if we want to have our listings go through the IDX rules. I'm sorry, it's the seller's choice if they want the listing to be advertised through the IDX rules, right?
I don't.
In the MLS, when you add a listing to the MLS, can you choose for it to be included in IDX and syndication or not?
Yes.
Yes.
Right. So then in IDX rules that state what it is that you're talking about, those rules over there.
I'm not talking about the realtor rules. What I'm talking about for the consumer, is it transparent to the consumer that they think they're talking to the listing agent and they're not?
Eric has his hand.
No,
Eric.
that's not transparent to the consumer.
Well,
But that's
yeah,
but
when
I don't want you to mix those rules because those are.
I'm just saying that is the industry allowing something that's not that making this
So
not
you think so we should have IDX rules be adjusted to make the listing agent prominent when that listing is being highlighted on somebody else's
well,
site.
I mean, it's
I
something
love that idea. Go ahead, Eric.
Yeah, I know when I call my buyer leads back, and so sometimes, not a lot of times, but sometimes they'll think it's my listing. I'm like, no, it's not my listing. We share all these listings collectively on the IDX.
Yeah, it's
So
amazing.
I always disclose that if they start talking like that. So what you said, Jeff, is correct. A lot of consumers out there think that every house that's on a website is your listing, and it's not. So that is true what you said.
Yep.
Yeah, no, that's where I wanted to take us today, is that we as an industry are not transparent, and that this is where we're going.
Yeah.
This is, like, to me,
This is Leopard.
right, when we talk to, this is Leopard, this is the National Association of Teams promoting that we want to be the most transparent and in the industry, because I believe that the consumers are being tricked because they don't know,
They want to talk to the listing agent.
right? And they can't find who. It's hard. It's
What
not.
if the listing agent doesn't want to talk to them?
That's sad.
I know.
Yeah.
Isn't that sad?
Well, because the industry
There's so many
created that.
part-timers.
But the thing is that the industry created that allowed that to happen under the multiple layers of rules
Yeah.
that govern why. But to me, we're fighting for transparency, right? Like for the, I mean,
Obviously,
how
because-
about, okay, the other thing is
Our digs is a tool that Leopard members get to use, right?
yes,
So if you can qualify to be in Leopard, to be a Leopard member, you then get our digs. And our digs is taking that level of transparency to the next level.
right.
And that is highlighting the listing agent. So there's
Right.
no confusion that this is the person who knows most about this property, so that buyers are working.
Right. So when we do the Inman advertising, it's going to say the most transparent company for consumers, because we are revealing the listing agent on our digs. It is going to be the most transparent, bar none, because the first thing I'm going to say is we display listing agent. Do you?
Only if they pay, says realtor.com.
That's different than being transparent. Does the consumer care if realtor.com gets a fee for them to pay or not?
What?
Does the consumer care if realtor.com charges the agent a fee to make it transparent? Like, that's not
No.
transparent. Like that,
Yeah.
like that here. So the other piece of it is,
He's showing it. Eric's showing us.
what is that?
That's the list agent listed by, property listed by.
How many
That's the
scrolls
IDX
down?
That's the IDX
All the
disclosure.
way down, all the way down on the list.
Exactly, all the way down. Yeah, right, right. Like,
So here's the actual listing right here. And then you scroll. Oh,
One,
no,
two.
wait, I'm sorry. You have to click into it. So I click into it, and now it'll go.
Up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 scrolls down.
so right, okay. So has anybody 7 scrolling? No.
Page 7 is Zillow, or I'm sorry, page 7 of Google.
Right. Visited less than 1% of the
Yeah,
time.
invisible.
Okay.
Yes.
So the other piece of it, though, when we talked to the consumer from Virginia, was because when we start putting spuds,
Transparency.
right, when we put disclosures, when we put inspections up there, we will continue to be the most transparent company on the internet.
Our gigs, baby.
Our digs, our digs. Like
Yeah.
this is to me, it's we're fighting to be more transparent to the consumer, and I think that why this is gonna.
I think that our list, if you guys are interested in being transparent with us, then check out
Yes.
realestateleopard.com.
Real estate leopard, Eric.
What about listings where the agent is taking an investor-owned property, they've never occupied the property and it was a rental? They say they don't know.
All true.
Just
All-
state it.
just
That's
no, but the
another-
thing is
that's
that's
another
still.
business that's not transparent.
It's not transparent, Eric, and we completely agree. Is that the industry has gotten away with not being transparent for
Wait
a long
minute, I
time.
missed what he just said there. Which one isn't
When
transparent?
if I may
An
repeat,
owner
let me
agent?
repeat. Yeah, so he said when a listing agent is part owner of the company that they own it and they're the agent and they're profiting from the sale.
Then it must disclose owner agents.
Right, but it's
Right.
but it's still owner agent is a, you know, it's not
Disclosure to protect the consumer.
right. But when it gets syndicated out, it's hidden, that disclosure.
Oh.
Does the buyer see when they go to, let's not pick just on Zillow, on Redfin or Realtor.com, when they see it, can they?
Let's pick on Sibbach.com. When the
Right.
buyer goes to Sibbach.com and looks for properties that aren't ours.
No, it's the industry's forcing me not to be transparent. And
Yeah.
frankly, I'm kind of in a transparent mood. Like well, I mean, I don't,
yeah.
this is just the you know, we're trying to run a transparent, we want to be consumer
Movement.
first.
Yes.
And the first thing is I mean, we have several things. So, but number one is the goal with Leopard is to reduce costs for our sellers. And the reason why agents struggle with this is that actually, if there's less competition, right, we won't have to offer fees that are not transparent to, you know what I mean, that we can reduce the cost.
Oh, yeah. No. The reason why everybody that's had more than 10 clients has typically had a client that saw what you did, saw what you made, that decided to go get their real estate license.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
And so if the commissions are less, then that will happen less.
I think that it will reduce the amount of agents in the business by more than 50% when there's not a guaranteed buyer side commission that is, I mean, to me,
Kind of like Australia.
okay, but
No guaranteed buyer side commission.
well, I'm just like, I actually think that we should offer, because I want the buyer to have representation and write a contract, maybe 1%. I'm not advocating buyer side commissions to go away. I'm just saying that they're exorbitant, like the lawsuit that said that the 3% for the new agent, like I don't.
But you're not saying set commissions. I just want to make
I'm
sure
not
that's
saying
clear.
set commission.
No,
No,
but you're
I'm
just saying that if we reduced, if we two-parted commissions, where one part was the finder's fee guarantee, if you will, and then the other part was negotiable by the buyer and the buyer's agent based on the buyer agent's experience, then that combined could be the total.
Sure. I mean, we're just thinking, so one, to B, we're going to display the commission. 3, we're going to improve the process, because it's not transparent. It's confusing to the consumer, who actually is it's a shell game for them. Are you the listing agent? Are you the listing agent? Every time they call, it's why our brand is losing its value.
Oh,
Because we're
I
not
got one.
transparent.
I got one. What about, so is, I got to look at IDX fields, because when you input a listing into the MLS in our market, you get to choose one of the buttons, which is called variable commissions, right? What's the
Yes.
definition of variable commission?
If I represent,
If the
if
listing
I
agent-
represent
if
both,
listing
if the
agent-
listing agent represents both sides, and they reduce the commission if they represent both sides.
is
that-
variable commission a field included in IDX? Wouldn't that be interesting? Because then if I was a consumer and I could see that if I worked directly with the listing agent, it would be less commissions, that the seller would have to pay.
Well, I mean, to me, it would be a yes. Like, it would be V. It's going to be V/YN. And then if you click on that more information, it would say there's a variable commission on this that the listing agent will accept less if you work directly with them.
That's
but-
my point for
but-
our digs.
That's going to be beautiful.
Right.
Right. If you work directly with us, the listing agent, now that the listing, oh, wow, that's hot. Woo! We found a winner. Wow.
Well, now that Carlos is here, we can wrap
Carlos.
it up.
Okay.
Good to see everybody this week. Thank you. Sorry, Carlos, you're gonna have to watch the recording, man. Jeff Sibbach,
Phil Sexton.
good to see you. Thanks
Let's
for your
put the consumer
participation.
first. More transparency in the industry.
Adios, guys.